from then, elections is this week. Then it seemed so far away, but now it is the week of the big elections. Yes,
the big week.
The big week. And I do hope that you all are as excited as we are. Elections will be held on Thursday, the 27th
yes.
of November. Again, our elections, our general elections for St. Vincent and the Grenadines will be held on Thursday, November 27th, 2025.
And I hope you guys are ready and ready.
I hope so. I hope so. Dishon, what are your feelings surrounding this election? Do you feel the same excitement and energy as the last one? Is it more? Tell us.
To be honest, this one is more intense. I'm feeling more vibes from the people.
Yes.
I'm seeing more Labour supporters out at the rallies. And I think everybody's just excited for a sixth term.
That is so true. I agree.
Continued progress.
I completely agree. I think after the last election, we would have seen how resilient this administration is.
Definitely.
Because I feel as though within all the other terms, this last term really pushed how resilient and how for the people the Labour government is.
Definitely.
Because we would have seen where not only the COVID-19 pandemic, but the eruption of the Lassifere volcano, we had so many unforeseen challenges. Just last year, we had a Category 5 hurricane passing through.
Devastating hurricane, Shani.
All of that happened to a small island nation. This is not a big country, a small island nation as St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Dengue fever.
Yes.
We are faced with a number
exactly.
of challenges.
We keep experiencing these really, as Dishon mentioned, unforeseen circumstances. But again, time and time again, we are shown how much this administration is for the people.
Yes.
We are shown how much they are willing to fight for us, not only on the regional stage, but also on the international stage, to tell them that we are a force to be reckoned with, and we will stand up, and we will provide that challenge for the betterment of our people.
Yes. And I'm so happy that we had this government here.
Yes.
During these challenging times.
Yes.
Experienced government.
That is so
and
true.
An experienced leader.
That is so true. I think not only Vincentians, but I think also persons outside of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, other nationalities, they are looking in and they are saying, listen, Vincentians, you have an administration that is for you.
Yes. I read something that on Facebook sometime. There was somebody saying they wish they had a prime minister like ours.
Oh yes.
So Ralph is the man.
In this pre-show live, we will be covering a plethora of topics. We will be, of course, discussing a lot of the issues that we've been, hearing about that could easily be debunked. I think that now that elections are heating up, Dishon, we are seeing more fallacies.
Yes.
We are hearing about a lot of, I have to say the L word, lies. And as youth on a youth platform, it is our duty, our responsibility to ensure that the youths are not misguided, right? We have to be each other's keepers. And we know sometimes the information that is presented in the public foray, it's not always as clear.
Yes.
So what we do, we go for that information. We analyze that information across all platforms. No, it's not being biased, across all platforms. And then we bring you that information, how we see it.
We could use another word there, Promises.
And in our research, that has been
a keyword.
The word. A lot of promises. A lot of promises. So we are going to delve right into it. Dishon, my first thing is, as someone who I'm very big on persons enlightening themselves. I'm big on, of course, I would have taught before. I do, own my little tutoring business. So as it relates to education, I am very big on education. even though, you know, we face our different challenges, I always encourage persons to grasp at all educational opportunities that are present, because you are making yourself not only just knowledgeable, but you are making yourself, you know, you're enlightening yourself to be able to critically think about things on your own without having to be spoon-fed information.
Yes, you can definitely
right?
decipher from a lie.
Exactly. And knowledge is power at the end of the day. So one of the major things, our conversations that we've been seeing, is what will happen to students who are studying
in Taiwan.
And not only Taiwan alone, but in other countries where we have, you know, partnerships with them, so that our students would be able to study without having to incur, you know, an exorbitant amount of money, you know, to their personal selves. So that is the question tonight. What will happen to our students in Taiwan?
Well, I could tell you this. I know what will happen to our students in Taiwan.
Yes.
When the ULP get a 6th term in office.
Yes.
They will continue their studies as normal.
Yes, that is true.
You know, we will continue our relationship with all these other
that relationship will continue, yes.
You know, and we would even go as far as getting more educational opportunities in other countries.
That is true. That is true.
That is one thing we know for a fact.
That is true. Having examined the information that is out there as it relates to both administrations, we would have realized that the ULP administration or the Labour administration has a plan in place for the youth as it relates to them furthering their education. We would have seen time and time again where each year not only a few persons receive scholarships, but we have scores of persons receiving, of students receiving scholarships. Now we would have delved into the other side's manifesto, and one of the things that is missing is that there is no fixed plan as it relates to what will happen to students who already have scholarships who are studying in the diaspora, namely Taiwan and other countries. So it begs us to, you know, we have to ask the question, is there a plan? What will happen to our students? Additionally, we have seen, based on our research, our reading, that there is no, they have their promises.
Lots of promises.
But there is no how.
No how.
Right? And that is a major thing.
Statistics.
Yes, that is a major thing.
They're not
so
figures at all.
They would have mentioned a lot of other avenues as to how they want to go about doing certain things. But there is nothing there that explicitly describes education support.
Definitely.
How do you plan to support the students who are currently studying abroad? There is no mention of how those students will be supported. And we cannot leave it up to chance to say, okay, well, you know, we just have to assume that they will be supported. Because if this is the case, then we need to know, or there needs to be a comprehensive breakdown to let us know, to let these students know that this is what will happen moving forward. Because at the end of the day, these are our nation builders who are currently obtaining that knowledge, who would be required to come back here
to help
and
this nation.
Exactly, and serve our country. So will that support end? Will that support end? Additionally, across the manifesto, there is no comprehensive plan in place as to how they will be supported, right? Is it a case where they have to fend for themselves and then they come back here and we expect them to do for us when we would not have done for them? We cannot make our assumptions. We need to know. As a youth, we need to know.
And definitely, Charlene, and that's why we are here tonight at Richmond Hill.
Yes.
Because we are here to launch our youth manifesto.
Exactly.
So we're going to be putting forward the plans for the youths of this nation.
Yes, absolutely.
Abroad.
Exactly. And so we noticed that one of the major conversations or themes that is jumping out is youth, and we're for the youth, and we're yes, you are for the youth, right? Let's say you are. Let's say yes, you are for the youth. Don't we deserve to know exactly how you plan to be there for us?
How are you gonna
Don't
be there for
we deserve to know how you plan to support our educational journeys? Don't we deserve to know how you plan to push or ensure that there is a longevity, and that is the word, longevity, in the promises that you are proposing? We deserve to know that. We don't want to hear that you're saying this would happen if you elect us. We don't want to hear that, okay, well, you know, we're going to cut this, slash that, implement this. Okay, that's all nice,
Sounds
but
nice.
how do you plan to do that? How do you plan to maintain it? And with all of the risks that are attached to all of the promises, how do you plan to mitigate them? Because it is all well and good to sit down and put some things on paper and say this is what our promise is.
Definitely.
But how do you plan to actually realize those promises?
If met with a setback, how are you going to
Exactly.
mitigate
So
the situation?
the conversation is going and we're just heating up, right? We're just heating up. For those who are just joining our live, we are currently at the Richmond Hill playing field at the Youth Own the Future Rally. And of course, it's vibes, energy, but not only that, we're bringing the information to you, right? It's not just us sitting here and rambling off. We are bringing the information to you. So we are hoping that you're listening.
And we have some really, really nice artists, guest artists performing tonight.
Oh yes, remember we bring the full package now. We bring the full package. It's not just nice time. We bring the full package. So you're with us here to have the conversation and then tell them, Deshaun, what are we expecting a little later on? Or who are we expecting a little later on?
I must say, we are going to welcome our very own Skinny Fabulous.
Yes, our star, Skinny Fabulous. It is so important that we continue supporting local.
Yes,
very, very
definitely.
important.
We're also going to see Massacre.
Oh.
Massacre, straight out of Jamaica.
Listen, I know that a lot of you are looking forward to Massacre's performance tonight. Who else are we looking forward to?
Mayan, I think it's
Moyan.
Moyan.
Yes.
Moyan.
We have
Definitely.
a female in the cast tonight. She will be coming on stage and
could
she
we forget
will,
our
of
female?
course, never. She will be showing, listen, all the artists, not just her, all of them will be bringing that energy, that vibe, and that level of love to us at the Richmond Hill playing field tonight. So, of course, stay tuned. And you know what we're going to say? Share the live, share the live, share the live.
Shadin, let's also let the public know that we have a next rally coming up on Tuesday.
Yes, yes. So, of course, they have to stay tuned to our social media pages. If you want to follow the Unity Labour Party on Facebook, you could follow Vote ULP. Each constituency has their own page. Ensure you follow the constituency pages. Ensure you follow the reps of each constituency because everybody is posting. We don't have one page that disseminates information. We have
Multiple pages.
Scores of pages that we share information on. So if it ain't want for know, it's because you don't want for know. If it ain't know, you ain't want for know.
Well, you said that, right? I remember scrolling through the social media and I saw somebody making a comparison between one of the Unity Labour Party lives and comparing it to an NDP live, right? And they're talking about the figures. So I smiled to myself because I know, right, each night we're having a rally. We don't have one meeting, sorry.
We don't.
We have multiple meetings
We had,
at the same time.
but then that is what it is about. And I think persons are failing to realize what season we are in. We're not in a season of just nice time. It's not just about putting on one big rally, bringing a bunch of artists, and then all of us just jump up together and then we go home and there is no how, why. No. Each night, there are multiple meetings, upwards of 6 village meetings per night, where the representatives within the Unity Labour Party go to their constituencies and spread the message of the Unity Labour Party. So again, if you don't want to know, it's because you're looking for the information. we have, in addition to the village meetings, we would have had mega meetings also.
Yes, mega meetings for the last couple of days. And even the brunch, the youth brunch.
And the youth brunches. So we have a lot of activities daily. So when you're looking on one page and you're only seeing, you're seeing that figure, it's only because that is one page of the other 6, 7, or 8 events that we're having that the youth across St. Vincent and the Grenadines are engaged in. It's not just about one big thing. We are ensuring that we touch the communities of the people. We make it localized. We ensure that each constituency, each village has the message of the Unity Labour Party. And it's not just one area in each constituency, multiple areas within each constituency get to hear the message of the Unity Labour Party. So we can't say the how. You can't say hear any message. You can't say the how they're not coming to you. They are coming to you. They are showing you that the resources that they have, they are putting it back in the places that matters to ensure that you hear what is to come. You hear what their plans, not promises, plans are for the next 5 years.
Shadin, I could talk about one of the youth brunches, right?
Yes.
Which one? Central Leeward Youth
Listen,
Brunch.
all the full of vibes on there, and I big up Central Leeward.
Yes,
all the full of vibes.
The first time voters, they had a blast.
Wow.
They were treated really, really well.
What type of activities did you guys do?
You know Uncle Randy always deal with people well.
Always.
So Uncle Randy, big up yourself. And the team, can't forget the team.
Yes,
he has
absolutely.
A really, really good team behind of it. Working hard behind the scenes. And I think that is part of his success. And each candidate need a good team.
That is true.
Right? So I must say kudos to the team and kudos to Orlando Rooster for such a wonderful brunch.
Lovely.
Understand?
Lovely.
They want prizes, they want giveaways and so on. I don't want to let the secret
They're always trying to throw up here the constituencies down in Central Leeward, you know.
Some people just
and
steal
I'm a little jealous.
Shadin, some people they steal plans. I don't want to tell them anything.
But that is what it is about. Going to the youth, ensuring that their youth-focused activities
during the day. And there was a mega meeting in Leyo at the waterfront after that in the night.
Yes, again,
and
it's not only nice time.
Left the brunch. It wasn't only about nice time.
Yes.
Everybody left the brunch and attended that mega rally.
Yes.
Show support.
Yes.
And it was a movie.
It is not just about
some clips
nice
of
time.
it. So centrally what is red and ready. Are you guys red and ready?
Yes, yes. And I was actually in North Windward last night where they had a brunch as well. And from the pictures, I could tell that these brunches were successful. The youth enjoy them. And again, that is what it is about. Ensuring that we have spaces that the youth can go to where they can have meaningful dialogue, where they can network, where they can have that conversation as to how their representatives can better serve them within their communities.
Yes.
It is not just about pretty posts online, really pretty flyers, really pretty press conferences, because oftentimes the regular youth don't get to speak to you in person at these major events. They only see you on stage, they only get to see you on camera, or they get to see a poster online. They don't get to speak to you as a face-to-face, in person. They don't get to network with our leaders. And in the Unity Labour Party, we notice where that is the base, that is the trend, that is what is happening. The youth, any representative cannot tell you that they don't be bombarded with the youth with questions from the youth.
Yes.
And they don't have dialogue with the youth because they're providing that space for the youth to have that conversation with them in person, and that is important.
And that's key because yesterday, Minister was there, Orlando Brewster, and he was in constant dialogue with the youth. They were asking him questions and so on.
And that is how we were able to better the plans moving forward. You know, yes, there are already amazing plans in place, but when you have conversations with the youth, when continued conversation with the youth, not just one-off, continued conversation, you then put yourself in a situation where you are learning from the youth It's a continuous process, so you're better able to serve them by implementing, if it's not making what you already have better, it is implementing or creating something that could better serve them. And that is, again, what it is about.
Yes, definitely.
Do you understand? That is what it is about.
Definitely.
So we are going right back into our discussion. We had a little rambling session there, which is necessary. Deshaun, another major, and I think our Prime Minister would have been touching on it. PM would have mentioned multiple times. I don't think at this point any Vincentian has not heard the term citizen by investment or CBI.
CBI.
So let us break that down for the youth who are listening, and of course other viewers who are ready and willing to listen, engage, and understand what this really is. So in our reading, we would have realized that the other side, their plans would not become if not for a CBI program. And we need the youth, especially, to understand what CBI is.
And
Now, citizen by investment. It's simply, in layman terms, you're bringing in somebody, giving them the passport with hopes that they would invest in the country. Now, that is that's simple, right? So the man on the street and the intellectual should be able to understand that, right? Without having to go deeper into it. Now, the basis of the other side's plans, how they will be financing their plans is through the CBI program, right? Now, let's go right back to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Let us bring it home. We are a vulnerable nation. St. Vincent and the Grenadines has never, ever in the history been a very wealthy nation. Everything that we have going for ourselves is what we would have built, tooth and nail, sweat and blood,
hard work,
sacrifices, our airports, our ports. We go out there, we plead to the persons that be, we ask them for assistance, we look for that help. Now, when we have programs as CBI being introduced into our already vulnerable nation, what that is doing is giving outside influencers the say in how our country and our affairs should be run. Now, we can have leaders who will influence that, but money talks. So wherever the money coming in from is whoever they would be listening to. Definitely. Is whatever they would be doing. Now, listen to me. We are a vulnerable nation, and I personally do not think that it is in our best interest to allow outsiders to dictate how our affairs should be run, how our infrastructures should be developed, of course, unless we are bringing in the engineers to give us a second opinion, unless we are bringing in, sometimes we have project managers who could better advise us. I don't see how we can sustainably, that is the word, how we can sustainably introduce a CBI program without it being a major risk to us in the long term. I don't see how.
Shadin, my question, you may not have the answer to this question, but the relevant person should answer this question.
Yes, absolutely.
Who is going to vet these persons?
And that is the question. Who is doing the vetting? How do we know that the persons who are coming in with their major, with the briefcase, with the briefcase, how do we know? How can we know what their true interests are? That's one. And how do we know that? How are we going to then decide to mitigate? How are we going to really? How are things going to be put in place to mitigate the risk of corruption? Because again, we're a vulnerable nation. We ain't have no gold spoon in no way. We ain't have gold, we ain't have oil.
We don't have all these resources.
So again, all of our development is banked on the people. Now, if we can't depend on the people to help us to develop our own nation. Why we introducing, why we bringing in the outsiders to do it for us? Because at some point in time, it might not be in the next 6 months, it might not be in the next year, but they are going to feel a certain level of entitlement.
Yes, definitely.
When they could say, okay, well, I am a citizen too. And me ain't been here for long, but you who been here for your 60-something, 50-something years don't have much say because the money coming out of my pockets.
Definitely.
How are we going to mitigate that risk? How are we vetting these people?
But you know, some of the countries that these persons are coming from, I think they're running from whatever they got in themselves in their countries, and they come into vulnerable countries like St. Vincent and the Grenadines to try to take over.
Yeah.
And you know, if you allow termites to get into your wood house, you know it's going to eat it down.
Right.
So we can't allow these outsiders to just come and take over.
But my thing is to, right, it is okay for us to want outside help, because as a nation, again, we can't do it on our own. However, how is it being vetted? We see where this administration, they tell you, this is the scholarship, this is what you're getting with the scholarship, this is where you're going to study, and this is what is going to be in place when you come back here.
Right.
We're not seeing that. Now you have this program that you want to implement, but there is no how. There is no breakdown as to your true, how it is really going to work and how it is really going to benefit the people. There is no true breakdown as to, what we're talking about, the risks that are involved. How do you plan to vet them? How do you plan to mitigate some risks? How is that being done?
You see? And there's not even a contingency plan in case of a failure.
So at the end of the day, it all boils back to all these promises are ambitious plans.
The song nice, eh?
The real song nice.
The song nice, but as old people would always say, you know who you have.
Yes.
But you don't know who you're getting.
Exactly. Them to answer to us, right? Remember, this is not a platform where we are no cutty thing. We're not on no pull long thing. We're not on no degrading thing. So if you're coming with that, right, we end up on that. Meaningful discussion. So if you can answer our questions, engage us. Do you understand me? Engage us. Again, we're not the panny cutty thing. We're not the panny pull long thing. We're asking how.
That's a simple question. How it's gonna be done.
How? Right? And for those who are joining, I know you're joining it and it's a little heated, but we are currently discussing some of the topics that we would have been seeing in the public foray, on social media, etc. One of the topics that we would have discussed earlier on is education and the scholarships. We would have identified, based on our individual researches, based on our own analysis, there is no true plan as to how education will be maintained under the next administration. There is no true plan in place of how students who already possess policy, the scholarships would be supported. Now, we have to know that in all of this, we have to protect what we have. We have to protect what we have, right? And we would have seen that it is being protected. We see where there are so many developments happening within this next term. The administration would have already promised you that they are going to finish the hospital. They are going to continue developing healthcare because it is a major thing within St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Exactly, and we are seeing where strides are being made, and it's not just now because the love for say election year. We have, how many polyclinics do we have? How many clinics do we have?
How many upgrades?
How many
clinics? Made them into smart clinics and smart hospitals and so on. And I think people are literally forgetting all these things.
They are, because
I believe they're wearing glasses.
Deshaun, I would like persons to ask citizens from neighboring islands, How often do they travel to St. Vincent to get certain services done? In our radiology department, persons from our Barbados even would tell you that sometimes they travel here to get certain services done. Now, if outsiders could come in to get services done here, it means that we are doing something right.
Definitely.
Because sometimes we don't see it for ourselves, you know. It takes somebody outside coming in for us to realize what we have.
I like to quote from old things, you know. They say when you have a mango tree in your yard, the mangoes will drop and spoil. Yeah. It takes somebody else to come and want mangoes for you know how much mango you have. You understand? So outside persons will come in here and utilize our healthcare facilities and so on, but we'll be right here and we'll pull it down.
And I think what happens is that as mentioned, it goes right back to appreciating what we have, right? Of course, nothing is perfect. Definitely. There is still room for development. There is still room for further advancements in our healthcare system. That is a given. But we cannot ignore what is already being done. And as a people, it goes back to us, and we have a responsibility as well to take care of what we already have. We cannot be a people or a nation that destroys what is being built or given to us and then expect it to be replaced like that. We as a people, we have a responsibility to care for what we have as well, right? And it goes back to when things are being done, when the buildings are built, no matter how much new hospitals we have, no matter how many new police stations they build, if the people who are dwelling in these infrastructures don't know or start taking care of them better, and then we would always have that problem regardless of who is in government. Right? Key. So it goes back to us as people. Remember, we're being real. We're being real. We're not here to just nice up the thing. The vibes coming just now, but we're being real. It takes us as a nation, as a people, to understand what we have and try to take care of what we have. One of the major things that we also try to fight over is how well our tourists, our tourists, the tourist infrastructures, the beaches and all of that are being maintained. But Vincentians, we are the ones that are using them. They could build all the gazebos that they want. The government could try to pave how many roads lead into these destinations. If we, the users, don't care for it, how do we expect longevity? How do we expect sustainability? So again, it goes back to us. Remember, real and honest dialogue here. We as a youth, it is our responsibility to have the hard conversations, and that is what we're doing on this platform, while also shedding light on what is already being done.
Shadin, I want to bring back something to the fore right here, right? You are talking about infrastructure and hospitals and so on, right? And our healthcare. Now, that is the reason why we are here, and we want to find out what will happen to our students who are abroad studying, especially in Taiwan and so on. Right. Because these are the students that we expect to come back to St. Vincent and the Grenadines to start continuing the building of this country.
Again, there is no plan that is in place. There is no proper, specific, detailed information that was presented in the other side's manifesto that gives a clear indication of how our scholars will be supported abroad and if they are to get into after this year's elections. We spoke about the CBI. That is a major risk. We are a vulnerable state. We are, of course, a small island nation. We fight tooth and nail for what we have. We cannot allow persons who don't even know where to find Kingstown to come in and tell us, do you understand me? Why we should put this here, there, or anywhere. No, we have to have that say.
The next thing I want to touch on is you mentioned tourist sites and so on, right? So I want to jump on tourism as a whole.
Yes.
We as a tourism destination, we have improved vastly for the last couple of years.
Absolutely.
Right? Minister Carlos James has been doing a phenomenal job as the Minister of Tourism. And we have to give Jack the jacket. he is far from perfect, but he's walking when it comes to tourism.
He walking.
Has really developed.
Yes.
And I know people can attest to this.
Yes.
You can't tell a lie about this.
Listen, at one point in time, every time I go on Facebook, I see Carlos' face, you know.
Definitely.
He in some kind of seminar, he in something accepting some kind of award on our behalf.
Definitely.
Accepting some kind of award on our behalf.
Definitely.
Our sandals, and I'm saying our sandals received an award. These are that is working for we, right?
Definitely.
And of course, I think one of the things that we fail to realize is that oftentimes the people might come, you might think a rep in did it because you ain't seeing him every day. But that's because he out there working for we.
Definitely, and he working for the whole of St. Vincent.
That's why he working for we. Now, if he was there every morning, you wake up and you see him in the porch and you say, how would you feel good? Yes, because you see him, he's seeing him every day. But after the 5 years, when you go and sit down in the porch and talk to him, what are you going to tell you? Oh, Miss Jones, remember, I've been the one who telling your morning every day. Okay, but what else?
But, you know, and that's what I like about the ULP's manifesto. They quote in numbers.
Yes.
They say they're going to create 2,000 jobs. They are going to create 2,000 jobs.
Yes.
Not just saying we're going to get better paid jobs and more.
We need an administration that is fighting for us and not allowing outsiders to fight. We battle for we. You understand me? We need an administration that fights our battles for us and not an administration that would allow outsiders to fight. We battle for we.
And, you know, that's why you need to go and get a copy of the manifesto. You know, the manifesto, it's on the ULP platform, the website, voteulp.com, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, and you gotta go to your representative.
Again.
Go to the office. Get a copy of the manifesto. Read it for yourself. Because reading is not, you get knowledge from reading.
Yes.
And you get understanding.
Yes.
You understand? So nobody can come tell you, oh, this is what they say in the manifesto. No,
yes.
You're going to see it for yourself.
Yes.
And then you're going to have a better understanding as to the plans and policies of the Unity Labour Party going forward. And the vision is not for just 5 years, you know.
Yes.
The vision is more than 5 years.
Yes.
I mean, when we talk about the modern city, no, you don't think a modern city could just come up overnight. It takes strategic plan. It takes proper finance and everything to go forward. It won't happen overnight. You have to give it time.
Yes.
Just like the international airport, it takes time. And here it is.
But here now.
The hospital.
But here now.
We spoke about it before.
Now
it's on its way.
Yes.
So that's part of the new city in Arnesville. Give it time, it will happen.
Deshaun, you're speaking. It's crazy because when we fight for these things to happen, we always get a no. Right? The other side, they live up to their name. Every time we come with this administration comes with a plan to do something, they live up to the name, they oppose it. Yeah. And then after it is done, after it is realized, we then hear, it's waiting.
Yeah.
It's waiting.
It's good. It's
waiting. But that is true. It's waiting. Because it's waiting, and that is right, and that is what we need. You know, we don't need people who are not going to see the vision. We need risk taker. We need people who would see, listen, we're fighting for we, so we're going to go out there and we're going to make sure we get it. And when we get it, we're bringing it back home, we're investing, we're making sure that it's waiting. Nobody could put ownership to that. It's our own.
Definitely. It's within Shen's zone. Right? Shannon, boy. Oh my God, I can't believe it. You know, the manifesto for the other party, right? It's just a continuation of everything that the Unity Labour Party.
And I think that is what that's what it should be.
It's funny. You know, they oppose everything, they criticize everything, but yet in your manifesto you're going to come and say you want to continue it. If you want to continue something, that means something is happening good.
It's good.
You understand?
They themselves would see the plans and they would see the policies and they would agree, right? But of course, they want to come out right and say that, and that is why we have these platforms because we try our best to do the analysis and to bring it and to see what is happening and to say, okay, well, now one and one in three, something ain't adding up, right? And it's for us to bring that information to you, right? So we would have touched on the scholarships, we would have touched on CBI, and we are going to get further into healthcare, right? Again, for those who are just joining, welcome to the pre-show live of the Youth Own the Future rally happening right now at
in
the
Richmond
Hill playing field.
We're back in Richmond
right?
Hill.
Yeah, we're back in
memories of Richmond Hill and this campaign trail.
The last time is Pingaling.
The place that the comrade rang the bell.
Exactly.
And now we're in the last stretch.
Deshaun, let me shout out some people on the live, because I feel like we have to big up those who are here with us, supporting us, listening to the message, drawing their own conclusion, those who are asking questions, those who are encouraging us to have that meaningful dialogue that we as a youth need to have more often.
Definitely. So, big up Julia Francis. She say, I'm all the way for my labor passing. Right? Sasha is voting for labor for continued progress. Right? Sasha,
okay, Sasha, we see
make
you.
sure you go out and mark X.
We
Put
see
X
you.
next to the
See
star. Right? So we're going through the live. I want you to share the live. Share the live.
Share the live.
Share the live. Tell us something on the live. Tell us something on the live. Let me big you up right now. Any
and shout out your constituency.
Yes, that is what I was just about to say.
Shout out the constituency.
Big up your constituency rep. Big them up right now.
So we're getting right into our next topic, right? And it's a major thing. We would have already touched on some of it. It is healthcare. And within healthcare, we are seeing where this administration is trying. They are trying to implement more resources by adding more, whether it is from the allowing persons to get dialysis, well, the whole radiology department, developing various departments within the healthcare system, building a new acute hospital in Annesville, ensuring that we have access to not just clinics, but also polyclinics. One of the things that I would have recognized in the other side's plan for healthcare is that whilst they would have listed some promises, there is no debt management plan. So they ain't tell we how they plan to, finance these things properly. They haven't told us what promises, right? And honestly speaking, when you have a lot of promises without a true plan in place, it can only ultimately lead to an increased risk of failure. You understand me?
Yes.
And know what these risks, then we can sit and we can say, okay, but there is not a plan in place. And that, for me, is a red flag.
Definitely.
Not this great one here, no, not the Labour Party. Talking about is I don't want to call the color, right? Is that one day,
right?
I don't, and for me, that is a big no, because if you're, it's a hazard. That's because if you are giving us or you're telling us that you have a plan in place, for any true project manager or any person who is involved in planning, you would know that you start planning. And you have to ensure that you keep Murphy's Law at the back of your mind. Anything that could go wrong, you plan for it. You ensure that you put a plan in place.
Contingency
and we are seeing there are a lot of loopholes and there is no plan in place as to how these risks could be mitigated.
Definitely. There's nothing to fall back on. Really,
there is nothing to fall back.
Promises.
And we cannot, again, be solely dependent. The foundation cannot be a CBI or citizen by investment,
and
because that in itself is exposing our small, vulnerable island nation to corruption, and that risk is too great.
And Shadin, a promise is a comfort to her.
Oh yes, a fool.
And
we know about you, but I kind of use in my education, so I wouldn't be labeled that.
Sometimes they say fool attack, but a fool a listen.
All right then. But then that is more of what we need. right? And I think what happens and what is now, what is the trend, is that everybody wants to be, it's about vibes. Everybody wants to not talk about the true
problems at hand, the policies at hand, and that is the issue right there.
Everybody just wants to just go online and pull down, disrespect, say all kind of crazy things. And as a youth who are looking on, this is at the end of the day our country, because we are now going to be, we're stepping into the role. For those of us who are not already there, if both sides, the youth on both sides, are not encouraged to have meaningful discussion, how are we really planning to move forward? If the other side is away from retirement.
And you know, and that is why I know this pre-live show is very important, because we highlight some stuff that is very important, right? Especially to the youth. Now, things to happen, things that have been happening, right? Things that we want to continue doing because it's working for the people of this country.
Absolutely.
Continue doing, it's working for the people of this country.
Absolutely.
I think that's where the other part is blindsided.
Find wherever that information is, if it is online, if it is in a book, read and try to understand what is happening so that we can draw our own conclusion. That is one. We cannot depend on the persons who want to be elected to put that information into our ears, and that's what we're running with. Because again, from doing this analysis, my own analysis, I would have realized that one party has a plan and the other party is banking on a promise. And that's not just me just saying that.
They have a P.
Because when the why is asked, I get an answer. But when the why is asked on the other side, I'm still left hanging. Now, I don't want nobody call me out of my name, and I don't want nobody tell me, you know, this and that is what has been happening a lot. And again, I want the youth to stray from that. And again, I want the youth to stray from that. If you know the why, if you know the how, it's for you to come and say that to the politicians to give you that information. Press it out of them. But again, that is not that tells us the why, and at the end of the day, I believe that is what truly matters. Because we as youth is our country, we are the ones living here. God spare our lives. The how can only lead us down a path where the next 5, 10, 15 years, we are now scrambling to find a solution to fix the problem that we could have avoided initially had we asked this how, had we asked this why. We need to go, and when you see the people them promoting the CBI and the this and the that, you ask them how.
How? That's the question.
We asking the how, because we ain't get no how yet. And this is the week of elections, and we're still asking how. How?
Sharon, you know another important thing I came upon in the road revolution.
Yes.
Just like how we had the education revolution,
yes.
they call it the road revolution. And that is important.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because if you're moving to a first world status, right, you have to make sure that your infrastructure is
more
in check.
developed nation, we need to,
and
exactly.
you have to make sure that the roads are in check. And we could talk about the number of different road networks in St. Vincent and the Grenadines that is being upgraded, that has previously been upgraded,
yes.
and it's currently under construction.
Yes.
So this program has already been rolled out, and it's just a matter of continuation.
Yes.
And you know, this government is a government of continuation, right?
Yes, absolutely.
And we're going to continue with all the good policies and so on and programs this government put forward.
Yes.
You understand? And this is important. This is important. This
So,
is very, very, very much important.
Again,
Labour is working, and Labour is going to continue to work for all of us in St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
The short I noticed,
Labour is working, and Labour is going to continue to work for all of us in St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
The short I noticed, we are Sean, right? So the other side would have promised free exams, held. There is no true plan as to how the long-term funding would happen. Now, if you're telling me you're implementing all these things and you want this youth South Windward, amazing strides with it's one of the reasons I argue with Holly online, because we have a voice for us, right? So we're welcoming Darren John, the candidate for South Windward. Again, we are very proud of you, Darren. Welcome. I keep welcoming you to the political arena, but welcome to the political arena. You're doing amazing. And
that the Unity Labour Party has done for us here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines,
yes.
as is outlined in our youth manifesto. Because the thing about it with this party, as you know, we presented a 108-page manifesto with all the plans, but we still took the time to present a youth manifesto.
Yes.
Unlike the other side, they only had a manifesto of about 33 pages with content.
Trust me, it took they say it took less than half an hour.
Yes.
Allegedly.
In that manifesto, they only had one page of what they have for the youth here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Right.
And on that page, they had about 10 points.
Right.
And out of those 10 points, this Unity Labour Party administration is already doing 8 of them.
Wow.
Out of the 10 that they are saying that they will do,
wow.
we are already doing 8.
Wow.
So tonight, I just want to remind the youth out there, whether boy, girl, male or female,
yes,
that this Unity Labour Party administration is for you.
Yes.
I am a product of the education revolution. The education revolution that the NDP said that they would consider, not even implement, but consider in the year 2030. We are now in the year 2025. And we have so much students who have entered into secondary school, who are university graduates. And you are telling me we had to wait. You and I would have had to wait until 2030 to earn our degree, or to know about, not even earn, but to start. Exactly. You know, it shows that they never had the youth.
I identify as a youth yet, but the knees I'm starting to think out there. I don't know how much I would have under their plan. I don't think.
Exactly.
I don't think I would have reached.
So I want the youth out there to know that this is a party that is focused on their education.
Yes.
This is a party that is going to take us into the 21st century world, into the first class, with digital transformation and AI and all these other stuff that we have going on now. Because this is a party that looks out for the youth, giving them the opportunities, whether in prime.
Yes.
We are offering them prime. We are offering them a grant that they don't have to pay back. The other side is offering them a loan that they have to pay back. These are some of the simple things that we have to pay attention to.
Yes.
You know, we are offering job opportunities. Beaches is coming on stream soon. That's going to create employment in the construction sector, in the hospitality sector. Yes. We're going to expand the Argyle International Airport. Right now, there's almost close to 500 employees at the Argyle International Airport. Wow. When you look at the advancement and you look at the plans to roll out to expand it, that's going to create about another 100 more persons being able to participate. So all I want is for the young male and female out there, open their eyes.
Yes.
When you drive and you walk, look at what you're seeing around you. And that alone will tell you that this administration is there to work for you.
Yes,
I urge them, however, Because one of the things I realized is that when I just came back, I used the joke that I think I'm on the wrong side of Facebook. Because the only thing I see is like news and all these kind of stuff. So sometimes we have to be able to understand the AI and the algorithm that we follow on these TikToks on social media. If you're not following the pages that would give you the information, then you will never see the information.
Yes.
So we have to make sure that we go out and we look for the pages so that we could know about the prime, about the yes, about the set, about the give, about the hero.
Yes.
All these different programs.
And it is continuous.
Exactly, they are continuous.
It's continuous, so it's not just, and I see they start saying that it's just around election time you start hearing.
Exactly.
No, that's false.
I am a product
false news
of the YES program. When I finished secondary school, I went on the YES program for 1 year. I went to college after. Then I went back on the YES program for 2 months. And then I advanced. So I always tell persons, you have to be part. You start small until you get there. You use every opportunity that you get.
Yes.
And that is what this administration is offering you. We are giving you the opportunities so that you could excel, you could expand, you could move out of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. You know, the other side will talk about, oh, we have an education revolution and then we don't have enough work for them. No government could do that. But the thing is that we are giving you the necessary education and skill so that you could go out into the world and make a living out there.
Yes.
If you can't make it here. What the NDP wanted was to keep us dunce and control us. And they can't. They don't like the education revolution because we're educated and we could reason and think and see things for ourselves. So that's what they don't. That's what they didn't want. So I urge every man and woman out there, every boy and every girl, vote for the candidate. Put your X next to the star. For those in South Windward, I urge you, remember when you go, look for the John that has a star because it's to John. So I want you to go out and I want you to put your X. We have to continue to vote for progress. We have to continue to vote for development, and we have to continue to vote for Labour because Labour is working for us, will continue to work for us, and we have to own our future. And the only way we could own our future is with the Unity Labour Party.
Yes. You see what I'm telling you? It's not just about nice time. It is about having persons on the platform who are giving you that information, telling you where to find that information and breaking it down for you so that you can understand that as a youth, Labour working for we.
Exactly.
Labour working for we. Mr. John would have highlighted that we have a youth manifesto. And of course, we are at the launch of the youth manifesto.
Yes.
So I hope you guys are on your way down to Richmond Hill playing field so that you can see that. And you can hear what the continued plans, not promises, continued plans for the Unity Labour Party is. Mr. John, you would have mentioned you are a product of the YES program, the Education Revolution, and it draws me to say this. As youth, it is for us to use the opportunities that are presented to us.
Definitely.
We can see the opportunities there. Don't take advantage of them and then complain and say nothing is done. Because things are being done.
Exactly.
If they're being done, they're there for everybody. To the opportunities, Labour didn't hand Darren Hayes and say, hey, that's for you alone.
Exactly.
He went out there, he capitalized on it.
Right.
We have to go out there and we have to capitalize on it.
Definitely.
We cannot follow on the other side who is just promising us that they're going to do X, Y, and Z, and they don't have a solid plan in place as to how they're going to get it done. Because as mentioned, their plan is to keep us ignorant. And once they keep us ignorant, then they're able to control us. And that is not what this is about.
And we are young, so we have to be
ignorant. Then they're able to control.
Young, so we have to be able to make decision on our own. And that decision is supporting the Unity Labour Party because you have seen the progress. You just made mention about plans and promises. The other side, they promised the students in the Southern Grenadines, generally the Grenadines, $100,000. Up to now, they can't fulfill that promise. But yet,
and that is a small scale.
They have the jeeps driving up and down. That's a responsibility to make sure all of them go to the polls. And once we do that, once we have a group of persons and we make sure that they go to polls, we will be okay. We cannot sit home and say Darren don't win, Labour don't win. We have to go and be part of that by putting our X next to the star. So again, I urge every young person out there, this is about you. It's about you voting for your future. This is about you voting for the continued progress and development here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Don't sit home. Go out on Thursday the 27th. Get up early, walk with your family and friends, stand in the line please. And make sure that you put your X next to the star so that you could be part of owning your future.
Yes, absolutely. You heard it from the youngest candidate in the Unity Labour Party who is representing South Windward, Mr. Darren John. Thank you so much, Mr. John.
Thank you for being here.
We have amazing representation in South Windward. I can't say that enough.
And I will continue to do my best.
Yes, thank you so much for making that promise to us.
Yes, all right, take care.
All right. Listen, which other candidate you know going company platform and big we up as youth so? Which other candidate you know is going to come not with a briefcase of controversy, but with a manifesto, a youth manifesto.
And straight to the point, eh?
To tell us and to enlighten us about the plans that are in place for us. Again, we need to follow people who want to enlighten us, who want to push for us to be educated, not people who push for us to stay in an ignorant mindset and for persons to keep us in a cycle of controversy. That is not what this is about.
Shadin, Darren said something that was playing on my mind for a while there, right? Yes. He said that he's a product of the education revolution, right?
Yes. Many of us,
and,
many of us, many Vincentians, and they don't even realize how.
I like the fact that he's a candidate running in South Windward. And I believe the whole of South Windward should stand behind Darren.
Absolutely.
I mean, he's young, he's vibrant,
standing strong,
and he's focused, he's driven, and he will get the job done.
Yes.
You understand? Because we're talking about youth. Here is a youth. His brain is packed with ideas to take his community, his constituency forward, and as a whole, St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Yes.
You understand? And if I was in that constituency, I would have definitely voted for Darren John.
Absolutely, absolutely.
You understand?
We are very proud of Mr. John.
I could be able to relate to him,
yes,
and he would be able to understand me.
Absolutely.
Because we're from the same era, as you can say.
Yes, yes.
Right? So people of South Windward,
yes,
Darren John is the man.
Yes.
He is the man. So give Darren John a chance in South Windward.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And let him show you that taking advantage of all these opportunities,
yes,
has paid dividends.
Yes.
You understand? And with that, he can come to know that you could start small and you can get big.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And I like the fact that he said he took advantage of the opportunities that were available. And
yes,
those are policies of the Unity Labour Party. The YES program, the SET program, and so on. Because I know of somebody who started out on the YES program. They did not say, oh, that's my money there. No, they did not say that. Started out on the YES program, went on the SET program, and now is a permanent teacher.
Absolutely, which, I love that.
That is taking advantage of opportunities. Yes. And youths must understand that you have to start small in order to get big. You don't just get big overnight.
Yeah.
You have to work hard. You have to work hard to get big.
Yeah.
So youths, and I like the fact that he said, each part